Hello. So this is going to be my Killers of the Flower Moon film review. Everyone's been saying I need to do film reviews, and I've been saying I will do film reviews, but I'm in a very series type of era at the minute. So I've been watching a lot of series. Anything to do with NFL, I've been watching. I've still not done my part 3 for the Last Chance U review, and I have been asked by a couple of people where it is, but I just kind of I don't know if anyone else who's seen it fell out of love with it. So I ended up watching Series 5 first because that's what Netflix automatically did when I pressed play. I didn't even realise. Should have realised really because it was set in 2020 or something, so I should have realised, but I did. And I didn't, do you know what's weird? I didn't like the coach in Series 5, that Beam guy, and then went back to 1 and 2 with that Buddy and was like, oh my god, this Beam's sound, Buddy's a fucking arsehole. And then went to Series fucking 3 and 4 with this fucking JB character and was just like, he is the worst human being of all time. So, will I even do a third? They get 100 viewers, it's such a niche. The Craig David one I expected to be such a niche little thing, but that ended up doing all right. But the Last Chance U ones, because it's such a like I said, if people, it's got spoilers in it, and I've had to be upfront about the spoilers in it. So I've said it's got spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you can't watch it. And if you have seen it, who's asked about what I think if you've seen it? Do you know what I mean? So maybe I'll do a little quick part 3. And I did say it was going to be a 4-part. I said I was going to do series 3 and 4 and then an overview one, but there's no chance it's going to be a 4-part. Maybe I'll phone in a 3 and 4 and just finish it so it's done. But yeah, this is I've not been going to the cinema as much. I am going to start going to the cinema more. I'm going to try and go to the cinema once a week because I pay fucking 30 quid for 2 cinema cards for me and Meg, and that's the first time we've been to the cinema in ages. We don't really go as much. Sometimes it's weird because sometimes we go through a phase where we'll go once, twice a week for ages. I suppose it's just being parents in it, and then sometimes we won't go at all. So yeah, this is my review. I don't really know how to do these. I'm guessing you're doing without spoilers, don't you? Because like I said again, if people haven't seen it, they can't watch it. So in terms of a film, it's fucking unbelievable. Martin Scorsese is just one of the best directors of all time, especially one of the best active directors now in our lifetime. So most films he does are going to be really good. I did get a comment on Twitter off Blend One, Johnny, my mate Johnny, who said that you're just rating it higher because of the actor and director, which I will admit I think there is a little bit of truth into that, because the film's really good, don't get me wrong, really, really, really good. But I feel like you go into these films with a bit of a misconception that it's going to be good because of who's in it, and you sort of give a little bit of credit for things that are not. I don't know. I'm not as critical of these films because I'm just so happy to be watching a Martin Scorsese film with Leonardo DiCaprio in that I'm not. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe that just makes sense with what I'm saying. It's a really good film, unbelievable. Won't probably go with Oppenheimer. I went and watched it 3 times at the cinema. Probably won't go and watch this again at the cinema unless I had nothing else to do. But it was a good film, a really good film. I need to stop shouting into this and move back a little bit. Oh no, I don't, because I've put the mixer down, didn't I? That's why all my videos were so loud. I didn't realise you could just turn the mic down. So I have now. But yeah, good film, really good film. The cast is unbelievable. I forgot her name, but the woman who plays the main actress in it is literally unbelievable. Although she looks absolutely fuck all. Let me see if I can get this up quickly. I should have had this ready. Again, obviously, I never do research for these things. Killers of the Flower Moon. If you look at what she looks like in the film, compared to, in the film, it makes you believe that, he potentially could have loved her because she just looks like a normal thing. Look, here's them together. And that's her. I should really learn how to flick these things onto the thing. I will do. I say that, but I'm 2 months in and I've not learned anything. That's her. But look what she looked like in real life. Hang on, I sent it to Pato. Pato, where is he? There he is. And look what she looked like in real life. There's no way he loved her. Anyway, so one thing I will say is when I went watching Oppenheimer, this was advertised back then. So I seen it 3 times. I thought that looked really good. And stupidly, like I do with a lot of these things, I went and ruined the whole thing for myself. I read up on everything. I read up on his life, her life, the murders, Native Americans, the life, the whole oil boom and everything. I knew the whole story before I even walked into the cinema. But it was still unbelievable. It's slow, definitely a very slow. It's a slow film to start, and it's quite a slow film throughout. So it's not. There's not like gripping action or I don't know really. It's just a. It's a film where the story and the way it's shot and the way the actors perform keeps you in to the film, if that makes sense. Whereas there's not really massive action. There's a lot of gory bits though. Let me tell you, there's a few gory bits that fucking jump out at you, and I think they massively underplay. Like the film underplays how bad a time in history that was. Like it, I guess there's only. I'm fucking on for 3 hours and 40 minutes. By the way, I went to the 7:30 screening, so you got 25 minutes of adverts. I got out of the cinema at 11:20, and then got home at like whatever, fucking 25 past 11, whatever it was. So yeah, that wasn't great. Like it is like I don't mind long films, but some like so The Irishman. I've still not seen that because that's on Netflix, and I can't really accept that I'm going to spend 3.5 hours on a film on Netflix because I just play on my phone too much. The cinema's a different experience. You get your slush, you get your munch. You sat there, you can't really sit on your phone all the time. So I can commit to a 3.5 hour film at the cinema, but I can't commit to a 3.5 hour film at home. And it never had DiCaprio in, so De Niro's not enough really for me to get into it. I like De Niro, but if we're honest, De Niro's career has been shocking for a while, and Scorsese bails him out, doesn't he, of having like quite a bad end of career. But yeah, overall, very good film. Like really, really, really good film. Definitely watch it if you haven't seen it. I would make the trip to the cinema as well. If you've got like a dodgy box, like don't bother watching it on the dodgy box. Go and watch it at the cinema because it's a really good film. Not one of his best. I think we have to all start admitting that Scorsese is declining with the quality of his films. Not massively. He still makes better. What it is he still makes better films than the industry. So the industry at the minute is a lot like sequels, game to film things, reboots, like game to movie films, superhero films. You know what I mean? It's very banquet food. It's very Buffy food. It's very like churning out stuff that they know will do okay. Whereas there's not like that much. Not many films like this. That's why I think Oppenheimer was so good, because the film industry is on its ass so much. Not in terms of revenue, I don't think it's on its ass in terms of revenue, but on its ass in terms of playing it safe. Whereas this is not a playing it safe film. And it's good. It's really good. So I would say definitely go and watch it. I'm gonna give it. Pat will give it 82 popcorns, and he is a good film reviewer. I'm gonna give it an 86 out of 100 popcorn rating. That's what my rating is. So yeah, go and watch it. Right. So now I was waiting for this. This is going to be an Easter egg because I'm not going to advertise this. The back end of this is going to be a spoiler review. So I don't know if I'm going to do a little screen that says like spoiler coming, but this is going to be a spoiler review. So you've got 5 seconds to fuck off if you've not seen the film, and we're going to talk about the film with massive spoilers. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, spoilers. What a fucking film that is, by the way. Gruesome, unbelievable, great story. So obviously, like I said before, I ruined the entire film for myself. I knew that he was behind it. Like obviously in the film, you see that he's behind it all, but I knew he was behind it all before the start of it. I didn't realise from history, when you read up on it, it doesn't... History, I don't know, maybe I read the wrong material, but it doesn't actually tell you how, like, much of a mastermind his uncle was. Yeah, his uncle was William Hale. Is it William Hale? Why have I done no research for this, by the way? Let me just get the cast up so I actually have a fucking clue what I'm talking about. How much has it made? 60 million from 200. Is that good? Has it only just come out? Or has it been out a bit? Is it flopping? It's not flopping, surely. Let's have a look if it's flopping. I think it's doing not well. Box office, here we go. Oh no, it's doing okay. It'll do alright anyway. Cast, what's he called? Yeah, William King Hale, yeah, so De Niro's character. I didn't realise he was like the full mastermind of it from what I read up on it, but obviously he was. What's sad in it is Ernest, Leo's character, doesn't really, and I thought this, and I didn't know this from reading it because I don't think it clicked until I watched the film. He was never going to get that money, was he? He was always going to die. He was always going to go the family and then him. His uncle was, if it was his dad, it would have been different. But his uncle was never ever going to was ever going to let him have the control of the money. He was always going to get off, and it would all go to his uncle. The film also doesn't really, like, I don't think it does justice to how bad this, and has anyone else actually read up on the era of these murders, like how bad it was, how like little, if like law enforcement like did anything about it, like it was seriously bad, like gruesome. The scene where there's the explosion in the house, and I can't fucking remember all the people. Minnie, is it Minnie or Rita or whatever? One of the sisters and her fella, that the one who married two of the sisters, when they die in the explosion in the house. How gruesome is it when they pick up her head and all the brains and everything are falling out? I did not, because it's not. It had been emotionally gruesome, the film, but it hadn't been like visually gruesome until that point. Like it was fucking. That was a bad scene, you know. They pick up her head and and it makes that like noise where all the fucking brains fall out of her head and stuff. It was a bit gruesome, but yeah, it was a fucking sick. It's a sick film. I feel like. What's funny is, so obviously the FBI, or at the time it wasn't the FBI, go out there, and this is in real life as well, since I've looked at researching it and that. They went out there, and because obviously nobody was asked about these murders and no one was looking into these murders, once they got out there, it was like the most simple case of all time to conclude. Like it was obviously them. They were obviously the ones who were doing it. Like not like it was such an easy case to crack. But I just think it was a really good film. Like when the mother died and she gets led away by the by like spirits, that was like quite a touchy thing. You know, like in such a somber film. Like when you think about the film, if obviously people who are watching this now have seen the film, when you think about the film, it's like there's no happy bits in the film. At what point is anybody happy in the entire film? Like it's like such a sad, somber film, and obviously it has to be because of the material that they're using for it. But even in really heavy films, there can be like some sort of happy and nice bits. But in that, other than the mother being led away by them spirits, which was like a really nice moment, there's no nice bits in the film. There's no nice moments in the film, is it at all? Like it is quite a heavy film. I haven't got notes, by the way. I'm literally just looking at that. I was deep diving into Cassie's Dead. Didn't realise he'd released an album the other day, and I was massively deep diving into Cassie's Dead's album. Although it's just gone off the screen, that's weird, because I wanted to keep that. Let me just get this Cassie's Dead back thing. Also, one thing is, what was I going to say then? My mind's just completely gone blank about what I was going to say about the film. This is awful. Shall I stop it and go again, or shall I just keep fucking fighting at the fact that I can't remember what I was going to say? It was really good, not really good, but something that I thought about the film. What can I go on to next? What can I speak about the film next? Let's just talk about fucking Leonardo DiCaprio's character till I can think about what the fuck I was going to talk about then. So Leo's character, obviously we find out that he comes back from the war and he goes and lives with his uncle. And at the start, I thought his uncle seemed like a decent man. Obviously, I knew that his uncle was... I knew that his uncle was implicated and was involved in it, but I didn't know that his uncle was like the mastermind from what I'd read. Obviously, his uncle did end up being the mastermind. What an evil man his uncle was. Just greed, wasn't it? I can't believe it was like allowed so like willy-nilly, like it was so blasé how they were about killing all these people and nobody seemed to care. Like the head rights or whatever it was called just got like passed on like as if there was no investigation. Greed is the main. I'm guessing that's what the whole. If you was to pigeonhole the film as what it's about, you would say greed, wouldn't it? Like still don't understand why DiCaprio's character doesn't just live with his wife and be rich. Like she's rich, he's got kids with her. Apparently he loves her. Why does he need to be richer? Like where's the greed there? Like imagine he'd smashed it. He married a woman who loved him, who he had kids with, who was filthy rich, by the way, like dirty, filthy rich. He didn't have to work. He never works during the film. He's just chilling all the time, gets to party and drink and stuff with this woman who he's married who's fucking mega rich, and that's not enough for him. How can that not be enough for you? That's the dream, mate. What the fuck? Anyway, what was I trying to say? What was one of my talking points about this film that was like quite a big talking point? What was I saying before it got to this? I might have to stop this video and start it again because I've genuinely just, and I was ready to say it and I've just gone a blank. Greed. Talked about greed. We've talked about his uncle. We've talked about the police. We've talked about the FBI cracking the case. Can't remember. About how somber the film was. There's no good moments in it. Can't think. Genuinely can't think. I can't think what I was going to say, and I feel like it was going to be important. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Don't know. My mind's just completely gone blank, so we're just going to have to fucking leave that. But yeah, overall, really good film. The ending was a bit mad. Maybe they just ran out of time, that they just sort of summed the whole thing up, didn't they? They just summed the whole film up with, like, the radio announcer talking about things. What the fuck was I going to say? It's pissing me off because I even, like, got excited about talking about it. Don't know. Can't even think. I'm going to stop this and start it again. That was it. Fucking hell. So, I was going to talk about her at the start of the film. All the elders are sat round. And they're talking about how our children will be raised white and stuff. And then if you, what I liked about the film was the fact that that film, a lot of the time, and I myself included, I sort of like don't appreciate early scenes because a film usually gets better as it goes along. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've said in I think a live chat previously. I did film studies at college, and it definitely makes me watch films differently, but. And we did a, like, I don't know if it's called a module or whatever, a fucking section of film studies where you talk about things that are set at the start of the film for you to look out for. And it was how they said our kids will be raised in the white way and stuff. And I know a lot of these women married white men because they were I don't know if they're indigenous or Native American, whatever you want to call them. They weren't allowed to have, without a white person overseeing it, they weren't allowed to look after their own funds, were they? They weren't allowed to manage their own money. So a lot of them married these white men in the hope that they could trust them and they could look after the funds for them, and they could be I don't know if it's a guarantor or whatever for the funds. But as the film goes on, like, so the first time he has a kid, DiCaprio has a kid with his bird, there's a massive naming ceremony and there's loads of people there and look at the wedding and stuff. And then as the film goes on, these things like depreciate, don't they? Like, look at the last kid they had, the third kid, the naming ceremony for that kid. It's so westernized in terms of that era. Like, it's like there's hardly any people there. All the people there are white. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know the film. I'm just talking nonsense now, and I've been going for like 20 minutes or something, but I can't really see because I don't know how long the last video was. But this one's 2 minutes. It's just a really good film, and I would never suggest ruining the film for yourself, but I think going into the film knowing what I knew made the film better, because instead of like having to fully concentrate on the story, I could concentrate on the little things because I knew the story. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I'm going to end this now because I'm just talking shit and I've had to even fucking end it to remember a point, but I've probably missed a million things, but this film is really good. I don't know if I'm not really good at film reviews. I feel like Twitter's better for film reviews because it's just 140 characters or 280 characters, whatever it is now. Whereas me talking shit for fucking 20 minutes about a film is who's asked, no one's asked. So I'm going to end it now. This is 7 o'clock on Sunday I've done this, and the live chat's coming out at 8:30, so I'm going to release it right now as a little prelude to the live chat. So everyone go and watch the live chat in an hour and a half, and everyone make sure they catch the football pod that's coming out on Tuesday. So that's getting moved back to my page as opposed to being on its own page for a little bit. It will go back to its own page eventually, but for the next few weeks or months, it's going to stay on my page. So yeah, live chat in an hour and a half, maybe an hour when this comes out, and football podcast on Tuesday, and whatever the fuck else comes next week. Bye.